Core training. Core training has become a very popular method of training over the past 10 years. In attempts to strengthen our midsection for the purpose of weight loss, toning our abs, and preventing as well as eradicating back pain, more style than substance has left a lot to be desired for. Endless crunches, countless variations of sit-ups, scissor kicks, and other isolated core exercises have put a well-intended but rather limited way of core training at the forefront of magazines, YouTube channels, and exercise classes. Let us define first, what is the core? Does it merely comprise our abs? Does it include the pelvic floor? Where does it start? Where does it end? Let's look at the different most common goals of core training in the fitness industry. Number 1, weight loss in the abdominal area. We are keeping this one short. Spot reduction, i.e. reducing body fat in a targeted area with targeted exercises, does not work. Science is very clear on this, and also years and years of practical experience and observation. Number 2, core training to tone our abs. What is the best way to tone our abs? Lifting heavy. Getting the numbers up on our deadlift, squat, overhead press, pull-ups, and other compound lifts. Why? Picture the amount of force going through your body when you pick up 150 kg weight off the floor. The body switches on our abs for 2 reasons. 1, to protect our lower back from the heavy weight, and 2, to efficiently transfer force from the lower to the upper body and vice versa. The core or abs in that situation act like a linkage between upper and lower extremities and vice versa. This linkage needs to be rock solid when exposed to heavy weights. Have you ever seen the impressive physiques of Olympic weightlifters, some powerlifters, and professional CrossFitters? Have you seen how defined their abs are? Do these people ever do loads of crunches to get the results they want? How do these people become great at what they do? Well, they practice their sport with increasing intensity and lifted weight over time. We have plenty of evidence showing that lifting heavy always outperforms isolated core exercises when it comes to getting ripped abs. Even a simple comparison of an overhead squat to a plank exercise has shown significantly greater ab activation in the former. So why are standing upright exercises such as the overhead squat and other compound lifts more beneficial than floor exercises? Because in standing upright exercises, we have to include gravity as well as a much higher percentage of our body weight into the equation. When we are on the floor, such as in a plank, most of our body weight is already stabilized on the floor. Core training, as such, in the sense of muscular ab definition, always needs to have its major focus on heavy lifting. I am not saying that isolated ab exercises are totally useless. I'm saying that we need to find ways of training that give us most bang for our buck. The third most popular reason to train our core is preventing and eradicating back pain. Without getting into the details of low back anatomy and injury mechanics, let's look at what protects our lower back in terms of musculature. Very important to understand is that our body works in muscle chains. If it didn't work in chains, we wouldn't be even able to cross the road, as our body would need to activate each and every single muscle one after the other. To solve a very simple task like this, the body coordinates their interaction of its muscles and other tissues to perform tasks like this. A bit like a conductor coordinating the member of the orchestra. The core, in its anatomical sense, starts on top of our head and finishes at the bottom of our foot. It starts at the tip of our fingers and finishes, where does the core actually finish? The core, indeed, finishes and starts everywhere and nowhere. The frontal chain of our body, as an example, starts at the tip of our toes, crosses the shin, all the way into the quads, crossing the hip joint, all the way into the abs, and finishes in the chest and front part of our neck. Ever wondered why your neck starts fatiguing after a long set of crunches? All these named muscles perform stability at the front part of our body, of which the abs are one part of the chain. Another example, the back chain starts on top of our eyebrows, crosses the skull, the back of our neck, the erector spinae, the thoracolumbar fascia, down into the glutes and hamstrings, into the calves, and finishes in the sole of the foot. It is an important chain to provide lower back stability when bending forward or picking something up off the floor. Deadlifts, low bar squats, and hip thrusts work this back chain in its entirety. Far, far away from any isolated core work. But the argument arises, well, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right? Yes. But the chain is a chain because all its links work together at the same time, where one link benefits from each and every other link in the chain. The links work together at the same time. And if one link is weaker in isolation, in the sense of movement, it becomes stronger because it is assisted by all other parts of the chain. If we want our core muscles to have a great interplay between each other, i.e. to stabilize our lower back in all its planes, we need to move away from the idea of core training to training movements. The way our bodies were designed to move for thousands of years. Hinging, squatting, pressing, and pulling as the four major movements our body performs to warrant survival. Crunching is not part of this. In summary, compound lifts performed with increasing weight over time is the most efficient way to train our core.